Getting plenty of moolah, Hancock. Nothing like making a killing out of a crisis. The till is stuffed to the gills, Sid. This should be my best week ever. Inflation, plus Russia, plus sanctions, plus wars, plus summer holidays should equal a lot of cash. This could be the last payday before electric cars come in and ruin the lot. So you're raking it in, are you? Well, that's the trouble, Sid. I'm not raking it in, but everyone else is. It's forecourt robbery. I'm only making 2 to 3p a litre. All that folding money is for the governments and the petrol companies, and I have to pay you to guard it. And we have to put up with all the angry, self-righteous motorists as well, don't we? You do all the hard work, and the liberal elite cash in on it. Look at them idiots getting hot and bothered, angry at the high prices. We're going to need more security. That's why Dad used to say, if you can't pay, stay away. Yes, you're quite right, Sid. Go and find another couple of lads, just in case these motorists get a bit violent. We'll have to knock them around a bit. Don't leave any marks. We don't want any solicitors. We'll need a couple of Tyson Fury types, perhaps with noses like that, you know. I would like to remind you that I have a funny nose like that.
Good morning. Can I have half a can, please?
Half a can? What's today? Early closing? No, you can't buy half a can here, mate. Where do you think you are? Woolworths. It's not pick and mix, you know. Half a can of this and half a can of that. 1 can is the minimum purchase, sir. There it is, it says up there. And put that cigarette out.
I know, it happened to me the other day. I was just filling up and had one last puff. And then whoosh, the whole lot went up. All my hair got singed.
Sid, kindly extinguish this customer and escort him out.
No, don't do that. I've got to carry the petrol on my bike and then go back and put it in my car so I can go to work. A full can is too heavy.
Seems rather a funny way of doing things. Where do you work?
Here. I'm Sid's new financial advisor. I've got lots of little ways like that. You should see some of them. I expect you'll find them all out. Give me enough time.
That's funny. I've never seen you before.
That's because it's my first day. I'm supposed to start at 7. Don't tell Sid.
Oh, look at the time. It's 7:30. Fire this man, Sid. He's late. Sorry, Mr. Quids. I'm going to have to fire you.
Oh, dear. Then I can't buy the petrol.
Suit yourself. You're not exactly our best customer. Put it back in the pump, Sid. You can't do that, boss. It only goes one way. The pumps blow, but they don't suck. Then you have to find another way to work it off, Mr. Quid.
I can't. I haven't got a job.
What did you do before you became a financial advisor?
I was a cleaner, but my last employer fired me.
What did he fire you?
I was fired for dishonesty and blowing up a petrol station.
Well, in that case, you're my sort of bloke, Mr. Quids. You can have your old job back. It's getting late. Isn't it time to shut up, boss? I have to work late, Sid. I have to put the hours in. It's only 10:30. There's a queue of cars out there at £100 a tank. That's £50 whole profit for me. I might be able to buy some fish and chips tonight. Come to think of it, I can almost smell fish and chips now. Yeah, I like a nice piece of fish and a portion of chips myself too. Why don't you sell them here? Because quite obviously I can't make fish and chips if I'm in here selling petrol, can I? That's why we're here. We'll give you an hand. I've got a van out the back and Mr. Quids is running it. I thought he was a financial advisor, not a chippy. Yeah, but he'll cook something up for you, Hancock. Don't worry about that. I don't quite understand, Sid. Are we or are we not going to sell fish and chip? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. Let me put it like this. What do you really need to help this business get off the ground? Well, the problem is, Sid, the profit margins aren't high enough. I need to get hold of some cheaper petrol and diesel and put the profit in my pocket instead of theirs. Yeah, quite right, and don't tell the government what you're doing, so there's no VAT or tax. Ah, yes, if only. It is better to receive than to give, Sid. But what are you trying to say? That you've struck oil or something? Let me put it like this. What are fish and chips cooked in? Oil, of course. There you are then. Twist it around a bit and think more diesel. I was thinking more sunflower oil. I'm afraid there aren't any sunflowers anymore. They've all been destroyed by the Russians. Ukraine can't plant them and Russia won't let them export the seeds. There's a shortage, so we're going to have to give the government a bit of an hand. So if we haven't got any sunflower oil, what sort of oil are we going to cook the fish and chips in? Diesel, of course. You can't use diesel to cook food? Yes, you can. You can modify diesel cars to run on cooking oil, can't you? So logically, you can put diesel in with your cooking oil. That's all very well, but it can't taste as good, can it? You can't ruin fish and chips, can you? Here, Quids, bring a portion of fish and chips for Mr. Hancock.
Try that, Mr. Hancock. It'll put chairs on your chest. No, it'll put hairs on your chest, won't it?
Not bad. Yes, very tasty. You got me convinced. So, what do you think? It was really quite good. Very crisp. Rather tangy, a trifle oily, got its own unique flavour. Yes, of what? Diesel. But you can't serve people with that, can you, Sid? Well, we could do, but we're not going to. We just pretended to use diesel for cooking for tax purposes. Isn't diesel rather expensive? Not if you know where to buy it from. I get it from this Russian oligarch I know. By the tank alone. No tax, no VAT. It doesn't actually exist as far as the government is concerned because there's sanctions, so we're not allowed to have it. But it saves the Russians from having to chuck it away.
While we're pretending to cook with it, you can sell it on your forecourt and make £1 a litre. But don't tell anybody where it came from.
Flippin' heck, £1 a litre. I could retire on that and live in a mansion in London and buy a super yacht. That's it, you've got it. Just tell the taxman you can't get sunflower oil and the diesel's a replacement for cooking with in your chip van.
We'll call you Hancocks.
Looks like the petrol station's turned the corner, Hancock. It's still here, isn't it? Yes, Sid, we're the most popular petrol station in East Cheam. They can't get enough of your cooking oil, Sid. They slosh it in the tank and zoom, they're off. And they can't get enough of that fuel additive of yours either.
You mean mushy peas?
Yes, that's it. Another bargain buy from Vladimir Putin, I suppose. So, Sid, that's the diesel market all tied up. Is there anything else you can do for petrol sales, for example? Do you like a spot of vinegar with your chips, Hancock? Don't be daft, you can't put vinegar in the car. It doesn't burn, does it? My vinegar does. I've got it, so it's not really vinegar. What are you buying this time, Sid? Petrol. We get our vinegar from Russia. It's about 1/10 of the price of our petrol. We ain't doing nothing wrong. Sanctions aren't working anyway. Isn't it a bit risky, Sid? What happens if we get caught? They've got nothing on us, have they? We've got the fish and chip van out the back, and all we have to do is show our invoices for cooking oil and vinegar. They won't know that's diesel and petrol. So the taxman will think it's all above board. Are you Mr. Hancock, Boyle? I most certainly am, and this is my empire. And this must be your petrol station. Yes, it is. I own all that is before you. And who may you be? I'm the taxman who's been assigned to your case. Pleased to meet you. Taxman? Well, in that case, I'm just closing, and Sid James owns most of this. So, who owns the fish and chip van? Fish and chip van? I own a fish and chip van? Oh, it must be Sid.
Hang on a minute, it's outside, I'll show you. And you can have a portion if you like.
Oh, I can smell it from here. But I can't have any. It might be considered a bribe.
Bribe? You haven't tasted it yet.
But I'll have to have a look for my reports. I will need to put a sample under my microscope. Well, it's just as I thought. It's Russian cod. You could tell by the flakiness of its body.
Well, I was told it was Swedish, and when you fry it, it sounds like ABBA.
Oh, ABBA or not, I'm afraid it's Russian. I'm going to have to shut you down, Mr. Hancock, and present you with this tax bill. £4 million, that's ridiculous. That will eat up all the profit from the oil and vinegar. What oil and vinegar? Please excuse me, if you don't mind, me and Mr. Quids have got to give our super yacht's bottom its annual barnacle scraping. See you later, Hancock.